Hello, this is Scott Lane with People Powered Press. A lot has happened over the last few months, but especially today. This has been a day that has been shocking from early on in the morning. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, that'll be for a future video, but just wanted to leave something for you to think about real quickly here. It's starting to come out that Bernie was forced to either say this faux endorsement. You can look at his body language, understand that he really wasn't believing this and wasn't fully committed to this, or lose the 1,900 delegates at the convention, lose the opportunities to keep the wins in the platform and increase the wins of various breadth and depth in the platform and other rules of the convention. This says more about Hillary than it does about Bernie, but first let me tell you what it says about Bernie. It shows you how committed he is to the cause, and this is not surprising. Someone who has been unselfish to the nth degree since the 1960s. He's an activist. He's a Woodstock warrior that has never wavered. What does it say about Hillary? It means her and her supporters are willing to do and say anything. This is something that's obviously we knew, but you have to think, is this really what you want? We all know how unfair this fight has been, and we expected that. That's not a surprise. But what we do need to understand is we are frustrated, we are angry. But I think we need to refocus that anger and that emotion toward Hillary. We need to understand all that she's done, is willing to do, what the president is willing to cover up from the issues with the email, the security clearance that shocks the 4+ million people in this country that have various security clearances, to the Clinton Foundation, which is a way to get around freedom of information requests, pay to play, you name it. None of this was even discussed or investigated that could have been the last few years. So the president and all the rest are complicit in all that's been going on, including the most massive election fraud in history that has pulled at least 3, if not 5 to 7 million votes away from Bernie toward Hillary with the strip and flip and other issues. But it also shows that Hillary, as usual, and her people love to be bullies. So bully, bully, bully. Great. You won today. Bernie took it on the chin. He took a loss for the day. But this is simply one battle of many. Bernie has been fighting battles for at least 55 years on this. So let's give him some credit. Let's not be upset at him. Let's accomplish what we set out to do. I would suggest that we do a $27 money bomb to Bernie. I would even add one to Jill. Look at Jill. What's probably going to happen at the end of the day is they're going to get more and more ugly at the Democratic convention. We don't know. We can't control them. But let's make sure as a plan B that Bernie can have a nice soft landing with the Green Party with Jill potentially over there. We need to make sure that they're on path to go to 47 states, if not 50 states, for the Green Party. They're very complimentary with Bernie. Jill is fantastic and has been a champion for all Americans for ages. Hillary has not. If you really, really want a woman first president or vice president, I would strongly suggest you investigate Jill Stein. If you don't know much about her, you will be shocked that you don't know much more about her. Why? Because, of course, the media blackout on her, just like the media has been blacking out Bernie. So once again, I understand how frustrated everybody is, and you should be. But unfortunately, Bernie can't openly say what is happening here and why he had to do what he had to do. He really didn't have a choice, but he completely heroically did what he had to do this morning to keep the battle and the war alive. As much as Bernie doesn't like wars militarily, he is willing to go to battle for all of us. And once again, let's channel that focus and energy in a positive way. Let's understand he did what he had to do. Let's understand that his campaign is contacting delegates to find out, do they have enough money? So we need to keep fundraising for these delegates. We need to fundraise for Bernie, whose campaign can legally give money to the folks that need to get to the delegates. We need all 1,900 plus delegates to show up at the convention, to fight like heck for everything, for all the different ballots that go on there. Never say never. We're not at an end. This is definitely not something, and he sure as heck did not concede. So once again, keep the faith, keep focusing, and look at both multitasking of Plan A and Plan B with both Bernie and Jill. And the battle is really just beginning. And this was just one skirmish in a very ugly war that's going to get far uglier, because Hillary and her folks are willing to do anything to win, whereas Bernie is willing to do anything to make sure that the people are first and are always first. Thank you very much. Once again, this is Scott Lane with People Powered Press. Have a great evening.